What's going on, guys? And welcome back to this episode of the Rakish Rovers. Thank you guys so much for joining us here today. My name is Tom Quinn, resident dungeon master here at Modern Myth. But you guys are clearly more interested in our intrepid heroes here as they're finding themselves in what might be a bit of a dicey situation. And we are going to dive right into that. But first.
Hey, yo. Have you liked and subscribed yet? Have you commented? These are important things. Do it. Because we love you. Please. And give us money. Just kidding. We do have a Patreon. If you're enjoying this comment, we would really appreciate it if you could maybe go down there and help us fill our mugs with delicious beverages to help fuel these weird escapades we go on. Except for, are we being sponsored?
Well, the mugs are already filled. So just know that there will be even better uses now for those Patreon dollars, if such a thing can exist.
I don't
know. No, mugs are being filled because this episode is being sponsored by Dead Reckoning Brewing Company.
Yes.
We hugely appreciate the support. So thank you guys so much, everyone over at Dead Reckoning. Did you have anything else? Sorry,
I forgot. I didn't fill in the patreon.com/modmyth, but there I just did. So we're all good.
He's getting so damn good.
So damn
good. Let's hope he's as good at stabilizing dreamscapes.
I'm not.
As he is at remembering simple URLs.
It's not simple, man. Shut up. Shut your mouth.
All right, we're going to dive right back into it. Leaving off last episode, the Rovers had pushed their way into the Grand Ziggurat. They had encountered a series of strange idols, which seemed to be permeating this space with the darkness that Sirkar has brought to this place. Continuing upward, they pushed to the second level, what seemed to be kind of a meeting space, a space for the meeting of the minds of the rulers and leaders that have controlled this space for eons, where they came face to face with Sirkar's dark champion, Sarlov, what started out as a little bit of a dicey fight, but Aster, opting to use a valuable resource, decides to
last level 5
We're alive slot
to hold monster, which successfully ends the fight in slaying Sarlov. They find themselves in possession of a second near identical marble, which was collected by our young Aster in control of Kel, however you guys want to think about that. Some implications, because we're breaking a player and character knowledge barrier there, I'm just going to say, for those of you who were joining us last episode, you're aware of those implications. As Aster shoves that marble down into her pocket, and the party goes, holy shit, as the world kind of shakes and rattles. A portion on the far side near the balcony, you watch as kind of a swath of land is kind of raised upward, even a portion of the ziggurat itself kind of crumbling up, a sense of almost an absence of gravity for the matter in this space as it's beginning to kind of crumble, and simply the reality of this dreamscape is beginning to cease to exist. The rules and bounds that Siramal had created to build this sanctuary are beginning to fail. And the fibers of this place are becoming threadbare. As the party kind of realizing that the clock is ticking, and you will notice down in the lower right-hand corner that we are getting into the final hour. Don't I thought the same thing. I'm not even going to try to.
I think it's right below you.
Yeah, it's directly below you. There you go. Actually, great.
Well
You're welcome, Internet.
You'll notice that Josh has just referenced the what is effectively kind of the doom clock. Shout outs to Blades in the Dark. Doom clock for this place. Things are dire, but it is in that moment, shoving the marble down, the group kind of looking to each other and going like, we've got to move
Mhm.
as you guys book it for the next stairway. And in that moment, the world is yours.
I'm hustling.
I'm
I'm
just
gone.
gonna move up to the door. I want to see if there's a locking mechanism, if it's locked or anything.
Okay. Give me an investigation check as you give that door a quick once over, specifically looking for.
While
locking
she's doing that,
mechanism.
can I also investigate to see if there's any arcane runes or anything like magic stuff on this door? Or kind of stuff like a.
Go ahead and give me an Arcana check for looking. And you can see that the door is quite ornate, and
It looks like a door.
it certainly does.
13.
22.
It's a door.
There is nothing inherent about the door to you that suggests anything arcane, nothing runic on it, nothing, no characters that might suggest arcane arts, albeit this is a strange land where those characters don't always align with your own world. What both of you do recognize, kind of as you hit those top few steps, you can hear kind of the wet slap of your boot hit the damp,
The pools.
the damp treads of those stairs moving up, and looking down, you can see that there is a trickle of water where the door is sealed. There's a trickle of water running down onto the top few steps before kind of dribbling down the sides.
Has it been 8 hours?
Nope.
It is in that.
I don't think it's been 8 hours.
I don't
No,
wait.
it has not been 8 hours. It's probably been
Four?
two
Oh,
and a half
Yes.
hours.
So I was laughing like, it's been 7 hours and 55
Yeah.
minutes.
Oh, wait, let me check my notes here. Oh, a dice roll is needed.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
right.
sorry, 9 hours. It's been 9 hours. No, it's probably been two and a half hours since you. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably about right.
For those of you at home wondering why I'm so curious about 8 hours, I cast the ritual of water breathing that lasts 8 hours. So that's why.
Which at the time became kind of a riff, but
I'm telling you.
you know,
Well,
you
you
have
never
wa-
know.
it's
this fucking guy, you know, that's some 18 intelligence roleplay right there.
20. Excuse me, it's 20.
It's 20 now. This is why I can't win. This is why I can't
Actually,
win.
I think my gameplay thus far proves quite the opposite.
Well, you know, you're like a tiny Kel in like a robot Aster suit. Like, there's a lot of
What's
levers.
going on here?
Yeah, like in Kel, you've got like 2, maybe 3. It's like tank controls. It's like, do I want to go all the way forward? Do I want to do some rotation? Like what? You know, there's a few more levers going on, and but no, looking down, and something I will say is, you immediately get the sense that this is not simply water. You can see this kind of dingy, black, brackish. There's even almost that smell, that kind of salty, low tide smell, which is given kind of, despite the corruption, these halls have been kept pristine. Every one of these floors, you know, I mean, just immaculately constructed, and it's kind of that first slap and that little bit of spatter of water as your boots hit those upper steps, the landing there, that you kind of get your first sense. Low tide is maybe a bit extreme, but certainly that kind of salty, brackish. The air kind of smells of the sea a little bit.
Am I able to smell anything extra?
Sniffing, you do not smell anything
Good call.
of the nature in which your paladin nose is inquiring. But that is what you determine. In terms of a locking mechanism, I mean, you can see that the door bears a large handle and seems to push inward, but there doesn't seem to be any indication of a traditional keyhole or any lock of that sort.
Okay.
Shall I?
By all means, let's go in formation then, shall we?
Before we go, I must tell you, I had a vision when I grabbed the marble. It was most disturbing. I saw the
so?
giant's sheer car.
Steer.
Yeah. No SH, but basically
Steer
there.
car.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Sheer that thing. And
grabbing for levers, running a giant a giant ventriloquist dummy.
Right. He came to me and told me that if I were to put his marble instead of the eye, that he would give us whatever we wanted. We could go back to his world. That he would let us go. And in the real world, he would remember this moment. But if we turn against him, he would remember.
That too.
So, just throwing that out there. I'm still down to try to clear. I basically threw down and spit in his face. So I very much would like to continue my plan of cleansing this world. But I want you to know.
We appreciate that, Aster. I am ready to stay the course.
Stay the course? What about you?
Anything we want?
Yeah. I asked him to rid all evil in the world, and he kind of scoffed at that one. But I think he was going more for material things.
All right. Yeah.
We're good?
Yeah.
All right. You could get that belt of giant strength you've been wanting so bad.
He's like, morally, I can't do this, but you could, and for me.
You're pretty neutral on that line.
You're a piece of shit who could ask for the things that I want. Go.
I palm her the marbles.
Just if things get dire.
Just ask for me.
Yeah, right. All right.
All right. Pushing on the door with my shield up.
Okay.
Does it open easily?
As you lean into the door.
Sorry. Before that happens, I did pick up those swords, right? His swords.
Good point.
Sir
I do not recall anyone mentioning anything.
I said I
about
was
swords.
picking up everything.
She said she picked up everything. And then I specifically said I'm picking up the dust bits of my...
I remember you were picking up that.
But
yes.
no, that was the first thing she
Yeah,
said.
because I was getting the marble. I thought she was getting the swords.
Yeah. I got the swords.
Okay, if that may have been my mistake.
I
I do
wanna
remember you saying that, but then because originally I think you were picking up everything. That was your intent. But then he said he's getting the marble, and I just at that point things kind of got lost.
No, you're
But-
good. I
no.
just want to make it known that I have one of those swords instead of the dagger. Is that a short sword?
They are all of those are long swords. And in fact, they are
Can we do
scimitars.
that? No,
You're not.
Scimitars.
They're all
Well,
long swords?
you're proficient, but you can't deal sneak attack because
can't
it's not a
use-
light
yeah.
blade.
Yeah.
So
But
you
I
can-
could-
you
I
can
could with
use
the
it.
dagger?
You can use
You
it.
just have to sneak attack with Valor.
Yeah.
That's the trade-off. You don't have the option of sneak attacking with both now.
But it does 1d8, I think, are long
1d6
swords.
is 1d6.
No, not for long swords.
Scimitars. It depends
Well,
if it's a scimitar.
scimitar's a d6, but that would be a short sword.
Yeah.
That would be a finesse weapon.
What's that? Falcon?
Oh, and I'm sorry. That is my mistake. You're right. A scimitar is a short sword.
Oh, okay.
That's my mistake on classification.
So I do have a short
So
sword?
Yes.
it
And
is
I
a short
can't
sword.
And it is finesse, so yeah.
And as you have drawn it, you come to realize that it is not merely a scimitar.
What is it, Precious?
It's a cursed item.
What
Your
is it?
soul now belongs to your car.
Glad he said it.
Damn it.
I mean, it could have gone either way, right?
No, as you, if you have equipped it, which it sounds like
Yes.
you have.
I prefer to wield that, yeah.
Okay. It is one of a set of blades, which you happen to be in possession of. The set as a group is known as the Forked Tongues. And as you wield it now, the only additional property is that property will reveal itself. But as you wield it now, it is effectively what you expect. It is a short sword at a die 6.
Short sword, d6. Okay.
Is it a +1 weapon or?
As she wields it now, it is a short sword.
Oh, I see. When you put the twins together, you get
What
special
happens when you get
things.
the 4?
So does that put it at a 1d6 plus 5?
She gets nasty.
Roughly?
Yes.
Better hope
Okay.
you got 2 more arms. You idiots. You dumbass
We just
humans.
talk to the cyber people and we can.
Just hook
Good
a
to have,
couple extra.
good to have eclectic friends, I think.
Okay.
Turn yourself for a freak for
All
a
right.
+1.
I mean, wouldn't you?
I don't
The
know.
forked tongues. Okay.
Forked tongues, and all 4 blades are part of that set.
Okay, fair
Oh,
enough.
good lord.
Well, that's not happening anytime soon,
Nope.
but I just wanted a better weapon. So,
Cool.
all right. So I just had to clarify that before whatever is behind that door. comes
Literally,
out.
as you're leaning
And I
into
have
the
got them
door,
open.
you can hear kind of a ching, and it's kind of like just kind of just you can hear like ching, 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 you can hear kind of slicing through the air as you kind of glancing back over your shoulder, like leaning into that door with the shield. You feel the door give some, and as it does, a rush of water begins.
Hang on.
Only probably about shin high.
Mhm.
Okay.
But it begins kind of dumping now properly cascading, a river kind of coming down these stairs. So the crack that you have opened, you can clearly see the surface of that water, but you can see that this room is quite clearly flooded.
This room is flooded.
Your powers of observation never cease to disappoint.
I'm gonna open the door fully and move the side so Aster gets wiped.
no,
No, I'm just kidding.
no. Can you use your spear for maybe just traction or something, and we can hold on to you? Would that be all
Are
right?
we ready to proceed?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
So as I open the door, can I use the shield to help push the water away from us? That's basically between the way the door is
So
opening
kind of
and
deflecting it off directly off
Yeah.
the edge of the.
if I hold it open long enough, will the room empty? Can I do that? Can I just open it with my shield up to help protect us and just see if the room starts to
Sure. Pushing it
lessen the water?
open. Give me an athletics check. If you are bracing against that shield, do it with disadvantage.
Oh, okay.
But I don't need one from either of you guys.
3 and a 4. So that's a
Youch.
10.
Pushing the door all the way open, and again, you can see that with it being about shin high, it doesn't seem like a tremendous amount of water. But anyone who's ever crossed a river, it does not take a lot. And as this room just begins to empty, and quite to your anticipation, the room kind of begins flooding down this chamber. You guys watch as Kel kind of lowering that shield, and a huge torrent of it begins deflecting down into the room below you. You can see that kind of skittering backwards along those steps until your feet don't find purchase
Can
any
I
longer.
brace? As I see him kind of sliding, can I try and brace him?
Dashing up forward and pushing. Give me an athletics. We can make
Cool.
this
15.
Hey.
not bad. Bracing, you could see that Kel kind of skittering backwards just as kind of the toe of your boot slips off that level of stair. You feel kind of a shoulder into your back. You feel a hand kind of clasping onto your spalder, kind of bracing against it as that torrent of water continues pushing off. And after a series of moments, it lessens and lessens until the room kind of falling to a place where there is maybe several inches of water. This entire room, you can see, slopes gradually toward the center, and you can see that what remains is the very, very gradual slope away from the walls. But what remains is a room that is several inches to maybe a foot deep, most of the way around it. But in the central pool, and this room is a fair bit smaller, we're probably talking about a quarter of the size of the base of the statue at this point. But in the central portion of that chamber, you can see where the water gets substantially deeper, kind of that black darkness filling that space in, and that salty tinge. In fact, it's so much so in here that it's almost kind of accosting your eyes, your nose. You can kind of taste it. Your lips immediately begin kind of drying out as this kind of brine-filled room, just the sounds of water continuing to drip from the rush that came down. And looking back, you can see that that the meeting room behind you, the council chambers, now kind of bearing the weight of several inches of water kind of sloshing around and moving. In fact, you can see one of the chairs just kind of barely drifting along. Some of the broken pieces of furniture and all manner of parchment now soaked and kind of drifting along the surface. But that is the room that stands before you, and you can see much like the kind of wisps of darkness that you've seen before, albeit made water soluble. So you can see this. It's almost like when you see food coloring dropped into water and you watch as it begins to disperse, this blackness that kind of swims throughout the water in this chamber. Like I said, on the furthest edges, maybe only a few inches, 3-4 inches. A gradient down to maybe 2 feet or so. And that's where then a very clear drop off. Despite that darkness, you can still see stone beneath the surface, but at that central point where it hits. And that's probably about a 50-foot square pool in the center. And how deep it is anyone's guess.
Stepping into the room with, I think the light cantrip is still on the shield. Am I able to kind of scan the room and see where the stairs are?
Directly on the opposite side of the room, you see whereas the other stairwells have kind of run along the walls, this one kind of, you have the pool in the center, and just on the opposite side of you, you watch a a series of stairs leading up, and you can see a very majestic set of double doors, intricately carved. You can see emblazoned in fine minerals and jewels, and a lot of pomp and circumstance kind of grafted into this door.
I'll point out the door and hold it open so that everybody can enter.
Okay. We must make haste. Be wary. All.
Yeah. I don't know how much time I want to spend invested, like looking for things.
What else is in the room?
Yeah,
once
there
we
we
enter? What else is there? I know the looking pools were in this floor for the map.
You can see kind of, and this is submerged at this point, a series of small stepped surfaces. You can see that there are small cushions and cloths, kind of thick woolen looking, that some of them so saturated they bob just below the surface. But these small cushions that look like something that you might kneel on, you might, and they kind of are swimming as the room has drained out. Some of them have washed ashore in the shallower portions. They're beyond the pool itself and kind of the general structuring and some of the amenities that had made this place a usable space. The room stands empty.
Is all of the water briny and dark?
Yes, albeit the shallower stuff, it's harder to appreciate that. In the central pool, it's a matter of a couple of feet down and simply it's a void of liquid.
Is there any kind of the floating black stuff that, like the mists or wisps of black coming up?
Not in the air itself. That darkness seems to be isolated to the water itself.
From the depths, you said it was like a 50-foot pool in the center. What is the space between that and the wall where the water is really shallow? How wide is that space from where we are to
it's probably
the other side of the room?
So this entire room is probably about 150 feet squared. So it's about 50 feet in any direction.
Okay.
With the center square being 50 feet, which is the pool itself, or what had served as the pool prior to its corruption.
All right. Well, unless you guys have any other.
Oh, let's go.
No.
Let's go along the edges.
Around the edges? Then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's move quickly and keep an eye out. I'll just have my head on a swivel.
I'll take point, but I want to be a little closer to the pool and have them kind of on the inside near the wall.
Okay.
As points.
You're
You know what I
putting
mean?
yourself
Kind of
between-
like, like a.
Are we dashing?
I'm good for that. if you
Preferably,
want.
yeah.
So, all right,
Yeah,
we're
just
running.
sprint
We're
through the room.
sprinting. Okay.
Your first kind of push off, that step into this space, you feel kind of another shudder. From something outside, a shift and shake. And quite literally, we riffed on the Jurassic Park thing, but quite literally, this room becomes that cup, this kind of this ripple running along the water. Hugging the right, left. Do you guys have a preference on?
No.
Left.
We're gonna hug the left.
Damn it! That 20 intelligence foils me at every turn. I said all the traps right. Damn it. No, cutting left. That kind of rumble you watch is kind of a bubble, a few more bubbles, kind of lurching up from the pool in the center.
Are we still
Charging
able to run?
forward.
Yeah.
Give me an athletics check for everyone in the room. If your intent is just sprint to that next door.
Yep.
Nope.
Oh, wait, I need a strong die, a masculine die, or a
5.
feminine die. I guess I'm
5 for me.
5 total.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. 19.
Holy mackerel!
Mine's 16 on the die, but plus 7, so 25.
23.
23. I can do math.
That's
Math is hard.
All of you charging off, and you kind of to your left, hugging the wall most closely, watch as like some of the scum. I don't want to use the term algae, but it's not dissimilar from that. As Cat kind of third stride in, you feel kind of your foot betray you, a hard slip as you tumble down, kind of splashing into the water and pulling yourself back up to your feet. You kind of glancing back at this fall, having put yourself between the pool and...
If I see somebody fall, I want to stop and help them.
Okay.
I'm not going to leave somebody behind.
Is Aster... Continue on?
Go,
Yeah,
Aster,
actually.
Go.
She is. She's like, I'm a weak in this body.
Charging forward and kind of being able to more effectively than anyone in your smaller form hug that wall where there's really hardly any water to contend with. A series of splashing footfalls as you watch Katarina hit the ground. Glancing back, you watch as kind of a tentacle kind of weaving its way up. And from the deepest reaches of your mind, you recognize this tentacle.
Fuck.
You recognize it well.
The
one
I
she
do, or
tripped?
the
Fuck.
Kel's body does.
That's a good question, Tom.
Yeah, is it Kel who
It is
recommended?
And
a-
am I able to interpolate his memory and his experience and feelings from that?
Again, you can navigate aspects of his mind, the gray matter that's there. You can find nooks and crannies that you yourself, your psychological being does not recognize, but you can kind of grab hold of those things. And it's one of these moments, much like the nightmare, where you recognize things in your nightmare that you couldn't possibly, Katarina couldn't possibly know. This is one of those moments as you latch onto it. And kind of as you do, you feel a jolt, a spark kind of run through your system, almost like you've touched something hot, that immediate drive to pull away from it. A flash in your mind of people clutching at their throats as they're stammering around, kind of dragging themselves out of water, heavy tentacles raising up, the splash, the screams, chaos, a plummet, seemingly endless, and a splash into black, dark water.
Okay.
You know.
That kind of flits in your mind as you watch the first of these. You can see that the shadowy form of kind of this bulbous thorax begin kind of raising itself out of the water. Having heard some of that, the commotion of her turning back to help Cat up, you glance over and with none of the requirements of reaching into the depths of mind, you recognize this thing immediately. You charging towards the door with it was a 19, correct?
Yeah.
sprinting off across the room. You get to the far side where basically you're just at the point where you can begin heading up the stairs. Turning back, you said you wanted to stop, lifting Katerina to her feet. You guys essentially halfway into this room. That is your spread. What does everyone want to do?
I'd like to keep moving before it attack. I'm gonna be prepared for an attack, I guess. Can I move and take the block action? Or dodge action?
Yep. If your intent is to keep moving, is that everyone's intent? We're just blitzing through this room.
Question.
Yep.
We've seen the thing.
Mhm.
Is it corrupted? Is it like
Yes.
Thank
As it breaks the surface, you watch as that black mist kind of draws up and off of it. I just want to know if anyone's intending to stand and fight. I want to know if you guys are intending to flee.
I think
Then
I'm
we'll
on
figure it out.
the flee.
I'm obviously on the flee side.
Flee-
I have
flee
the
and-
dodge action and all that.
Yeah.
This
I know
is
we
going
call it
to be
block,
a
but I'm-
determining
Well, I'm
thing.
a rogue, so
I
rogue
know.
life.
I still need initiative, but I know that you guys are not intending to fight.
Yep.
To see if you guys have an opportunity to.
Oh my gosh, this dice hates me.
Man, I'm rolling like a baller.
I'm rolling
I
terrible.
roll a little shitty, so we'll see how this.
I
lines
don't
up.
know. It wasn't as bad as me.
Well.
This dice hates me. Valor, why are you
Oh,
doing me so dirty?
do I dare? I dare. No, that won't work. Do I have any plans?
What's your low initiative?
Crit
Three.
miss.
Well, but you still get a plus like 7
Nope.
or
Oh, yes.
To
it's
initiative,
true.
you
on a
can-
Christmas.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Sorry.
8.
it's me. I'm 3.
Hoisting Kat to her feet, racked by this sudden jolt of memory, a memory that shakes you to your core. Hard to tell whether it's you who have been shaken or the form that you occupy, but you feel kind of your body tense up. It's not something that has happened often to either of you, but you feel this kind of deer in headlights moment where having hoist Katerina to her feet and she kind of just breaks straight back into let's get the heck out of here. You feel kind of a sudden moment, a need to confirm, that this thing is what you believe it to be. And as you turn back, both of you guys can go ahead and act. However you see, I believe you're high.
Okay. I'm gonna go and try to inspect the door to see if there's like a locking mechanism or anything like that on it.
Running up the stairs, which will essentially max out your standard movement,
Yeah.
pushing all the way up. You can see that not only is there no locking mechanism, but as best you can tell, this doorway, no handles or anything like that. It seems that it would open inward into this next chamber, double doors.
Can I open it? Push it?
Sure. As you push on those doors, you can feel not insubstantial weight. Give me a athletics check.
Can I use my Arcana check? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
I'm gonna use my Arcana. I want magical dice for magical strength.
8.
8 plus my Arcana
It's
is
9.
Arcana is pretty nuts.
It's
nine.
that's
So 17.
yeah.
As you get forward, kind of glancing it over and realizing there's no mechanism here, and knowing what it is that's emerging from that pool,
Yeah.
kind of a hand raising up, a buffet of air sends the two doors slinging open. You can see that the stairs kind of transforming into a ramp come up to a heavy landing, and you can see an immaculate throne beyond this chamber, bright light illuminating it, and you can see kind of the coiled scales of a massive serpent in this space. You can see to the same extent kind of black wisps coming off of it in places, a golden bejeweled crown adorned on its head, and you can see kind of labored breathing, it raising its head and kind of a torrent of blackness kind of spewing out onto the floor, kind of shaking its head a little violently, a little clearly the organism in distress. As and that's going to be your movement
And my action.
action, and I'm calling it your interaction too.
Yeah.
to open the door.
Bonus. Can I see? I'm supposed to cleanse the light. Can I see like? I have the eye. Is it? Can I see like? Oh, this is where the eye should go. Do I see like a light shining down?
Oh, you can see pretty clearly the crown that.
Okay.
that
Okay, so that's where I need to go. I have a bonus action.
you have a bonus action.
How far away is it?
You're probably about 80 feet from the creature itself.
Okay. With my, I guess, can I use my bonus just to get the foot? No, I'm good. Just so I can get a hand free. I don't know if I need I have a Jafar staff. It's just one hand, and I have the shield in the other.
We have your spell book.
Oh, I don't have a shield?
Oh yeah, you do. No, you're right.
Yeah, could I stow the Jafar staff in like my back pocket so I can
Sure.
access it? Okay, cool. That way I can get to the eye real quick.
Stowing the staff and kind of prepping to have access to the eye, jumping over to Katerina. Up on your feet and
Yeah, okay.
and in full charge. I mean, you
Well,
basically.
so Kel picks me up. Do I feel him freeze? Do I feel him lock up?
I'd say likely not. It's probably also such an unexpected that Kelda generally is not
Right.
in a position, or certainly hasn't been for a substantial period of time. I mean, these episodes, these types of episodes that gripped him have been something of the past.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as you're pulled to your feet, I'd say by all accounts.
Yeah, without expecting that, I would simply keep up the dodge action and keep moving.
Okay. Up on your feet, just fully prepared to do whatever it's going to take for you to do. Charging for it. This is you dash or no dash? Are you just using your regular movement, or are you dashing?
Can I do a dash and dodge?
Yeah, you can because you can use your
bonus action.
bonus action to dash.
Cunning
Oh, that's
action.
right.
So
'cause I'm
cunning.
So cunning.
Super amazing. Yeah, I will actually. Kel can keep up in his own way.
Charging forward up the stairs. In fact, using the dash gets you just behind Aster
Okay.
as you charge.
Sorry, Kel, I wouldn't know.
That's okay.
That's true. You wouldn't know.
I just really don't want to kill you. I'm like, oh my god.
It's fine.
I know you. I don't want to be the one to do it though. I really want to
I'll
survive.
just hold it over your head for the rest of the.
I know.
You feel that immediate impulse of go, like go, and something, whatever that something is, compels you to stay. And kind of in that moment of hesitation, turning, you can hear kind of the slosh of water. You kind of turn back, shoulders squaring, as this thing kind of rising up. You know what lies in the deep. I've seen your nightmares. His and yours. It will rack you with pain, suffering, agony. For as long as you cling to this pathetic mortal coil. Come. He watches kind of one massive pseudopod and another lurch their way out. The creature kind of slinking a little bit lower into the water. And in a moment, kind of bursting out a spray of some viscous slime, kind of painting itself all across the wall that you were on.
Okay.
Give me a con save.
You got this.
Is it con?
You got this. Go,
You get plus 2,
go,
plus
go,
your aura's 4, so plus 6.
Okay.
And you saw unfortunately. Is it something training? It's gone? It's wisdom and charisma. What is it?
That's
should
what
know
I don't know on this
Yeah, I'll show
sheet.
you.
Yeah.
Sorry, internet. Yeah, it's wisdom and charisma.
Okay. So
this
it's a plus 6.
Yeah.
You got this. You've got this.
And you have, I think, also an extra ability. Because you're favored by the gods.
Did I use that one?
No, I don't think you've used it.
Okay.
It's for saving throws as well. Sorry, internet.
Metagame. Sorry.
I'm only bringing this up because this might be like one of those times when you need to use
I'm only
every
cheating 'cause I have
freaking
to.
bonus. Because I know what this is.
Right.
Okay. You're the combos. 13
Okay.
Plus
plus
6.
6.
is
Yes.
19.
So 19.
That should be a save. 19's a baller.
A oily, silly string like emulsion kind of painting you and the wall behind you.
Okay.
You kind of bracing against it, doing what you can to hold it at bay with your shield. Kind of as it ends, lowering it down, you can feel kind of the weight of what's caked onto the shield, what's caked onto your armor,
Okay.
and kind of taking assessment, going, this isn't hurting me, this isn't burning me, this isn't, you're feeling good about that. And as you kind of, your legs kind of return to you, this moment of a return to yourself, you go to take a step and you kind of,
Oh.
Wait. So this is a fail?
She has the ability.
give me a second.
Okay, but tell me if it's a fail because I can do something about that.
Another breath, or at least what your muscles have always known as breath, but as you feel that air pull into your lungs,
Oh, fuck.
no oxygen is dispersed into your bloodstream. Kind of the frantic, horrific feeling of drawing in air and gaining nothing from it. As kind of next, you can feel kind of your heart rate elevating before kind of mellowing for a moment. You've been here before. You faced this before when you were a far weaker man. Oh, this is weird.
We're in a weird place. But I like trust Kel's body too. You know what I mean? I'm leaning into the memory of his body. You know what I
Feeling
mean?
that panic. What is can only be described as sheer terror. The act of drowning in air. That thought flushes through your mind. Kel was made for this. Kel was built to do this.
Trust in Kel.
Your eyes closing, you can feel the palpitations of your heart as it's kind of beginning to fall into a state of dysrhythmia, of panic. And you feel kind of the splash of water, this massive thing moving in front of you, this mist and spattering is met by warmth. You don't have to open your eyes to see it, but a silvery, you can see it through your eyelids. And kind of in that moment, you find rhythm, steady and true. You take another breath. You feel the relief, the sense of oxygen permeating your bloodstream, going to those vital organs. A calm flushes over you as you save against the mucus cloud.
Well done.
Oh.
I
I think
Yeah.
I rubbed my nose more in that last 5
You
minutes.
did.
I was about to join you. I was like, let me get in on this action.
You're not free and clear.
I know it's not over.
No, but that would have been a major bad turning point if that would have happened.
Okay. Is it Kel's turn?
That was the spray of this mucus cloud around this thing as it kind of clatters, sloshing. You can see now the shift and flow of water in this space. One of the heavy tentacles slamming down, kind of as your eyes open, you watch as it's reared up And that moment of levity, of clarity in steadying yourself may have cost you the edge you need as this tentacle raises high overhead. You feel it kind of catch on shield and armor alike, slamming you down to the ground. I'll roll both of them first. The second tentacle raising up as that first one kind of bracing the weight. You watch as this one centers up on you, moving to slam down kind of with just unbelievable mass and force as the scope and scale of this thing reveals itself, curling up and out of this pit. The first one that slams down, doling out. 9
That's
bludgeoning
he's
damage.
disappointed in that.
That was almost an infield crit miss by their damage. 9 bludgeoning damage. The other one raising up, and as you feel kind of the heavy weight, this thing crushing down on you, that moment of clarity hangs again. I was built for this. I've been here before. Not this time. A pulse of silver light emanating out, the tentacle kind of ripping its way off back into the water as the second one, a nat 1.
Oh,
yes!
Maybe he'll get his weapon broken too. Sorry, I shouldn't have brought it
No,
up.
it's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's time for growth. Kat is gonna move past this. I swear.
Aster feels really bad.
It's gonna be fine.
I don't feel that bad.
I know
The tentacle lurching upright, kind of the first one having been shucked by this pulse of silver energy, the second one raining down, kind of raising the shield up, bracing the spear on top of it, and as it comes down, that spear kind of tearing its way through, up through the tentacle. As you kind of rip it back out, you see kind of a chasm of flesh open up as the tentacle kind of falls limp by its side. As this thing kind of rides around the water, the tentacles drawing back into the water, you can now see that the blood of this thing, blacker than black, begins filling this pool with darkness as it will be taking penalties moving forward.
Well done.
Well, I didn't do
That
anything.
is its turn, and that's going to be on to Kel. What would you like to do with your turn?
Is the space free and clear? No tentacles that I can make haste to the stairway?
You can't. You are engaged. So
Technically,
I mean,
okay.
yeah, you're engaged. There's nothing impeding you from moving, but you will endure, and you are effectively a dash away from your companions. One movement would get you to the base of the stairs. The other movement gets you to the top.
I will take the block dodge action.
Okay.
And I'm
Block dodge.
going to run. I'm going to make a dash for it.
Well, you're taking a block dodge, or you're taking a dash.
Well, I'm not dash. Okay, I'm going to run
Okay.
my
Well, see-
full movement without dashing, but
You
I'm
have- you
going
have
to
a
have
thing
my disadvantage in place. And tunnel fighter. I don't know why, but just
Oh,
because.
No,
tunnel better?
you
Okay.
might as well. You got a bonus. You never know, man.
Okay. Taking that action, charging forward, you can see the creature writhing and kind of now beginning to truly emanate darkness. It's misting off it, almost like a sun-warmed road after a snow. You can just see this kind of mist of black steaming off of this creature as it lashes out with a tentacle. Charging towards those stairs, you feel kind of a heavy blow to your back as you feel yourself kind of crushed, your chest plate pushing down onto the first few steps as you get there.
Even with disadvantage, huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot you had one. I'm sorry.
Glad you said something.
My mistake.
He was right behind
Occasionally
you.
and very seldom, but occasionally DMs make them. In fact, that heavy tentacle, you feel kind of rock, almost knocking you from your feet. as it slams down, kind of unfurling in front of you, placing a hand down, bolting over the tentacle. You arrive at the base of the stairs with a damn 16 and then a 6. Yes. Fucking block.
Run!
Yeah, shout. I mean, literally glancing back, you can see
You're
this
further
just
behind
rain
than
of
I thought you
tentacles,
were.
a slosh, a torrent of waterlogged hate beginning to fill this chamber as the tentacle smashes down.
Team
You watch as
hamster.
Kel kind of mid-vault over the tentacle, shouts out, kind of charging up those stairs. That's going to take us to the top of the niche. What are we doing?
How far away is the...
About 80 feet.
80 feet.
To get the thing out and put it in the crown, what would that take? Action economy-wise.
We'll call it an interaction to equip.
Okay.
So equip the, and then placing it will be an action.
How far is Cat from behind me?
Cat is very close to behind you.
You should be able to.
No, because it's 60 feet walk, 30 feet walk, 30 foot misty step, and I could dash, and I'm losing it. But if I get it out, hold it out, and cast haste on Katarina, she goes before, you can do it.
All right.
Cool. That's what.
Rumor has it I love being hasted.
Yeah.
You fucking love it.
Like you can see, like it's been a while since I've been hasted. I need to get hasted, man.
I know.
Just a taste, like a half taste.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Look, I'll take an extra 5 feet of movement. Come on, baby. Just give me something. Give me something.
See, I will hasten Cat.
Okay.
And,
Pulling out the marble. Which one?
the
There's the serpent's eye and the eye of Sirkar.
The serpent's eye. Okay. Serpent's eye. Thank you.
Just making sure.
Yeah. And I give you your sweet steroids. And run! You can do it. No, don't roll dice.
Don't roll dice. Don't do that.
Don't worry about it.
And okay, so that's that, and that's a level 3 spell slot. And that was my last level 3 spell slot.
Oh,
And then with my movement, can I see Kel and the beast?
Literally kind of turning back towards Katarina and beginning to spool up the haste spell is when you watch as kind of Kel hurtling over this tentacle and just screaming like just run as powering their way up the stairs towards you.
So I'll get behind the door so I can close it maybe after you get in.
Preparing to close the door, having set that up, stepping into the room.
Oh, do I have to stay where I'm at, or can I even just give it?
You're standing right next to each other.
Yeah. Here,
Thanks.
enjoy your steroids.
What you're handing her that.
I'll stow the scimitar for that if I can.
Okay, cool.
I'm just gonna call it out of action or out of turn structure.
Sure.
But I'm going to call it. I'm gonna just call it your interaction
Fair.
to stow that.
Cool. So
Um,
you're hasted, and you should be good.
running up
You'll have to remind me what all that does.
I'll look it up.
doubles
the
your
stairs
movement, extra
behind
action.
Aster,
Plus 2 to
just
AC.
still in full sprint. You watch as Aster kind of turning. There's a moment where kind of staring into your own eyes, you know precisely what is spooling up. You watch as kind of that energy. In fact, for a moment, you can feel the muscle fibers in your own body wanting to move through those motions as haste spools up. You feel this bloom, this surge as your legs are pounding, kind of tossing the eye into the air. Instinctively, the blade kind of a flourish and sheathed as you snatch it out of the air mid-sprint towards the room, and kind of for the first time laying your eyes on this kind of the sad form that is this massive serpent in the throne room.
My nose gonna be raw by the end of this episode.
That is actually going to pitch over.
Okay, so I have two movements. Or
I think your
double
movement?
movement?
is doubled, plus 2 to AC, and an extra action, but you can only take a single attack on that attack action if you do decide.
Okay.
Can I see
But
the
that's not
evil
that
thing?
makes sense.
necessary. But
can.
And my
On the top of the
movement
stairs.
is
Absolutely.
30.
Well, if you've positioned
30,
yourself
yep.
behind the
So
door,
if you,
at
if you
this point,
decide to
probably
move,
not.
it'll be 60,
Okay.
and then if you need to bonus,
Yeah.
you can do another.
I'd like to go to the key.
30.
Okay. And then
So
she
action.
Since you asked
And
to
then
do the
2
door,
actions.
I'm gonna run with it. Yeah.
Yep.
So having moved around the door,
No worries.
probably just out of sight.
Gotcha.
Can I see just as I kind of am revving up, can I see anything else in the room? Is there any other person or any other bodies? Or...
You see nothing else in the room as you kind of take your first step into this space. You can see that the room itself lies before you, and you can see the kind of massive coils of the serpent, a throne sitting behind. Again, just the amount of love and labor and craftsmanship that went into. It's actually a little gaudy. I mean, it's so over the top. This kind of
What's with these
It is God.
you are seeing this though through. You can see 4 pillars, which actually it's not until you step into the room you realize there is a kind of a mezzanine that sits above you in this space. I mean, until you can see up there, it's anyone's guess. But what might be a space for a court, what might be a space for who knows? But whereas there is the apex of the pyramid overhead. Beyond, there is some sort of superstructure that's also built into this space. But behind that throne, you can just see intricately. The walls in here have all been plated in a variety of golds, platinums. I mean, this
Platinums?
chamber is quite literally.
Did you see platinums?
Whether it's solid, whether it's plated, what have you, it's an unbelievable place, and under different circumstances, it by itself would probably rip the breath from you. It's so unbelievable, the majesty of it. It laid low as it is. It kind of serves as a dull reminder of what may very soon be lost.
All right. All right, here goes nothing. Okay.
Here goes everything.
Speed is doubled.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm revving up, and now she just like super fast run. I will use both my movement and my dash, or my bonus action to dash over to get to Seer Maul.
Okay.
And I will place the Serpent's Eye in the crown.
So the crown that she is wearing, her body, kind of a series of coils. So charging forward to get to her head, to get to her crown, is going to require clearing.
Well, that
her.
wasn't very considerate.
We're trying to.
Put your head down on the floor. Let me put this eye in it.
You watch kind of shaking. As she does, you can see almost like ink kind of, you can see
poor
kind of
thing.
choking at her, suffocating her,
I'm coming.
and simultaneously imparting itself into her. You can see kind of one half of her face, one of her eyes has gone completely black as the wisps kind of growing off of her. Charging forward, give me an athletics check as you hit that first kind of coil of body that fills this
Okay,
chamber.
got it. You've got it.
Got it. 12.
That's your total?
Yeah, no bonuses.
Okay.
Unless I cartwheel over it. I
Yeah, 'cause you do
laser
some
dodge.
hand
Yeah, as it happens, doing a more complex action to get a skill that
I tried
to
so
get it-
many
yeah,
times.
that's-
I know.
That was
I
stand,
4E.
standard rogue style is like, well, what if I did triple front flips over it instead? It's like, somehow I don't think that makes it easier. It's like, you could do that, but I'm just going to triple the DC alongside it. No, as you
I still gotta try.
charging forward, just a blur of Katarina jettisoning. In fact, as you toss up the marble, it's kind of, you watch it leave your hand and just ceases to exist as this blur kind of tearing by it, leaping up, hand pushing down and kind of hoisting yourself, vaulting up and over this, and this coil is probably 7-8 feet.
Jeez.
As you kind of leaping with all your might, hoisting yourself up and over, finding yourself landing down, still charging forward. another coil. Give me a.
You got it.
Acrobatics check this time, just to keep it spicy.
I'll actually take an acrobatics on this one.
All right.
As you are tumbling to the ground, an opportunity to
All right. Let's spring into action here.
Ha ha.
Uh-huh.
lever off of the.
I needed it. 18.
Clearing the first one, kind of feet beginning to skitter down the backside, kind of what you can only imagine must be the most iridescent scales if she were in her right self. You can see kind of the dull tinge of light, just the specularity, not what you know it should be. As your feet kind of skitter, you feel kind of that rake of vibration running down those scales, pushing off kind of into almost kind of like a cat pounce as you reach for that next coil. You find yourself on top of it, legs about 2 strides across that one, as the last leap to clear the third coil. This
All
I do
right.
need an athletics.
All right. 12 again.
Leaping across, you can see kind of now what would be the head end of her body, kind of landing on, and you can see kind of shaking and writhing as the blackness that is slowly kind of been encroaching and creeping. You watch as kind of pushing up, that second eye draws black.
No.
As
I'm right there.
landing
Okay.
the vertical stand 25 or so feet of her body as she's whipping around. You are certainly within your movement if you wish to make an ascent.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm doing
Nah,
everything.
I gotta stop now. This doesn't feel right.
It may not. I'm giving you your options.
Everything.
Give me an athletics check with disadvantage.
Even
is
though I
there-
can climb my speed.
Even though she's in a, it's not disadvantage from climbing. It's disadvantage from her.
Okay. So athletics at disadvantage.
At disadvantage.
All right, guys.
You watch as she rails and kind of Aster, glancing back, watches as kind of clinging on the spaces between scales, making for reasonable handholds, but the movement as she shakes around, doing what she can
Hold still.
to draw this kind of parasitic darkness off of her, and you can see now that she is losing, or may well have lost, that exchange. But give me athletics.
Hold.
Disadvantage.
You just yelled.
All right. Crit.
Yeah!
Ready?
Can she do it twice?
10.
Yeah.
So what's the total?
10.
Oh.
If it's athletics.
One hand, and then the next, you feel your legs kind of kick free off to the side, your hands clinging onto it. You make 10 feet of the 25 up the side of the creature.
Can I use an action to
Yeah, you have an extra
move?
action,
and
Yeah.
then the
and you have an
final-
action surge as well.
That's right. So can I use an extra action to continue moving?
You know, I don't believe you can.
Oh no! Oh, not in this
Because
world, huh?
you can dash. Let me be sure about that.
No.
While
that's
we
fair.
wait, he has a joke.
Spooling.
What?
No, nothing.
I got a joke. It's a rather long one. Okay, so an Englishman, and an Irishman, and a Scotsman go into a bar.
Okay.
And they each order a Guinness, right? And coincidentally, which is a freak thing, a fly. Oh,
All right, you can dash first. The punchline was killer on that.
Thanks, man. One of my favorite jokes, but it is a rather long setup.
That we'll just pick that up anytime we have other guys. People are gonna have to watch 12 episodes to get the entire thing, but it's worth it. It's worth it. Trust me, it's worth it.
Hang in there.
Be there.
Be there for the punchline.
I'm not here for the Rovers.
There's nothing to stop. Actually, I'm not sure I've ever encountered that, but yes, you absolutely can.
I can dash twice.
Dash again. So
All right.
if you were doing it, go ahead and give me another athletics.
Mechanically, I'm using an action to dash. Yes. That is what's
Mechanically, that is what.
So I could potentially dash 2 more times.
Has she used an action to get where she's gotten so far? Because she
she used your bonus to dash initially,
Yes.
and then
movement.
you
And
just
then
use your
movement.
action.
I used wait. No.
Was the action to climb? The first action was to climb.
No, just now. You're about to use
my action, yeah.
And then technically you have your action search. So if that's
Well, I have 2 actions.
She's
from
hasted,
haste.
so she's got a second.
So I have
action.
3 actions.
then let it rip.
All right.
Thank God you
Still at
hasted.
disadvantage, yeah.
Still at disadvantage.
All right. Come on. Come on.
All right.
6. God damn it.
Okay.
That's probably the low. 16.
Okay.
Reverse of that.
The shake and so 6 is the total. Yes.
Mhm.
Another hand reaching up you feel your grip fail in that scale as you slip back. You have lost 5 feet.
I've lost 5.
You've
I
lost.
wish is there any?
There's nothing we can do up turn.
Yeah,
Mm.
I have reactions, but only if she gets attacked.
She's
So that
she's
was
all
one. That
rogue
was.
with haste. Give her a minute. She's got actions. So you are 5. You have 20 feet to the crown.
Do we have? Is there anything you can think of that she can do?
Rope. I don't. I think it would take too long to get rope and
Yeah,
lasso.
no, we're in the middle of turn structure. I hate to say it, it's just trusting the die.
I think we're down to the. I don't.
Maybe
Unless-
roll 1 of each, because odds of one die rolling really well. I
I
don't
don't
Roll
know.
them together though.
No, I know.
Do not like to be rolled together.
Another thrash. You feel this form.
No pressure, guys.
The thrashing
I
is
know.
starting to feel less like a resistance to this and more like a shucking of something.
Mhm.
As the whether
Can
it's
I say something?
Sure. And you got
Um,
your 6 seconds, so
okay.
keep it brief.
Um.
I mean, short of using an actual action to do it.
Right,
but I'm
right.
guessing you're just.
If
I'll say too, if you're saying something that you're anticipating any kind of roll, like a persuasion check or something like that, that will be an action.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Just for what it's worth. Sirimal, your champions are here. Hold.
It echoes through the chamber amidst kind of the lashing and thrashing, the black ink pouring, kind of now beginning to seep out of some of the scales around her collar. And what do you got?
All right. I'm giving it my all, guys.
You got it.
You're doing
All right,
everything you can.
You're doing great. Don't.
10.
Yep.
Okay.
Crit. Here it is again.
Hand over hand, another buck. You feel one hand kind of completely fall loose, and in a moment you feel this is it. You feel kind of your fingers slip down the breadth of a scale, and as she kind of bucks back the other direction, catching literally 2 knuckles worth of hold on a scale as you whip, kind of smashing into her side. Another claw upwards. You make another 10 feet, so you are at 15 of the 25.
10 more. I don't know if there's anything else you can do.
I don't think there is.
You have no more luckies, right?
No. This
So
is
that'd be
it.
super advantage.
All right.
Coincidentally, no, I don't know if that's a wise idea.
What?
Can I wedge Valor in the scales as a just no? I don't want to stab her, but
I mean, it's your call. I will assume you're doing everything you can with the tools at your disposal.
Okay.
Now, if you're willing to use Valor in a true capacity, that's entirely up to you. But the likelihood of being able to maintain the finesse of using it without harming her is.
yeah. No, I don't want to hurt her. Okay, guys, here goes nothing. All right, here we go.
Disadvantage. The double crit could just seal the deal.
15.
Not bad.
Fuck.
A continued buck and writhe as you feel kind of another loss of 5 feet. And you are essentially halfway up at the 10-foot mark. And it is in that moment, I will need initiative. Well, I'm sorry, you guys are already in initiative structure. I just need to add her to it. If you can roll not crooked. Okay. All right, and that's over to Kel, you're just having cleared the tentacle, charging your way up those stairs towards the group.
Am I able to get inside the door and help close the door?
Your one full movement action, 30 feet, will get you up just inside the room. You can decide to do whatever else you want. With
I want to get inside the room and close the door.
Charging up the stairs, looping around, and you can now see, kind of glancing to your right, you can see Aster, who's already beginning to put her weight into the door in preparation. Jumping on the other door, the two of them slamming shut. There is a heavy bar that can be drawn to seal this room from the inside.
I would like to seal the room from the inside.
Okay.
Am I able to do that?
Yep. Now it'll be your action to seal the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
The fear of what that monstrosity was and surviving it.
That's
true.
Draw of that bar as it slams
but also,
home.
But also,
let's not let that in.
Let's kind of a shudder and echo through this space. Immediately precipitated by, you feel the door kind of bulge momentarily as kind of dust and rubble kind of crumbling down. A few more blows against the door as your decision to bar it is immediately rewarded by what might have transpired if it hadn't.
Good call.
So that's movement and that's action. What else you got? Anything?
I kind of want to turn around because I have no idea what this space is holding. So
Having not even taken the opportunity, just turning around, you glance and you can watch as Katarina's legs kind of kicking off of the side of this thing, barely hanging on, clutching. You can see kind of it's a pummeling, just holding on to her right now, kind of being shaken around. But you take in the scene of kind of these pillars, this mezzanine, the pinnacle of this pyramid, and just kind of what would be such a radiant space given any amount of like proper sunlight cooling in here.
Yeah.
So you have kind of grabbed your lay of the land, what
Okay.
you're seeing. Anything else?
I don't believe I mean, that was in action to close and lock the door. So I'm just, taking it all in and preparing for my next time.
That takes us to the top of initiative.
You forgot Tunnel Fighter. Just kidding. Doesn't matter.
You fool!
You fool! I'm sorry.
How long
I'm
have
still
you been
just a
playing
little
Paladin?
riled up by this like non-breathing viscous
You're
thing.
fine. No, this is
Right?
it wouldn't activate. It's just do I get to go?
You
Do
do
I
not-
get to go? Oh, she out
you
initiative.
feel kind of a sudden kind of moment of ease, and for a moment you're going like, oh, finally my time, kind of hand over handing up that direction as kind of the head kind of buckling down to look down the length of it, and you watch as the mouth that begins speaking.
Now you'll know true power, fools.
The eyes kind of gazing across. Sorry, I pull my stat block up. I had everything ready. And you
I don't know what to do, man.
can see
I
the
don't either.
blackness, kind of the last bits of iridescence of scale kind of being consumed as standing before you, raising up higher and higher now. You feel yourself kind of lifting another 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet, almost like a cobra kind of raising itself. And you can watch as those coils begin kind of slinking around to allow it to rise up, only 30, 40 feet now from the tip of the pyramid, gazing down as you find yourself in the presence of Sirimal, the slithering nightmare, as consumed by this darkness. You feel kind of a shudder, and you can even feel kind of the flaring of scales, the bristling of its body, and you watch as kind of this slough of blackness down, kind of pouring into pools around you. In fact, you feel it kind of washing down over you. And I need everyone to give me a charisma save.
Oh, I like it. Am I within 10 feet of Cal?
Mm-hmm.
Because I was right with the door.
You are.
Thank you.
And I think you. Oh,
I'm
no, you
not.
don't have a
You're-
charisma.
You're not.
Yeesh.
This looks like a charismatic class. No, it's not. That's really not charismatic.
Yeah, 12 for me.
I won't save. I'll just tell you that much right now. Roll crit miss.
Oh no.
Ooh.
I'm a 16.
Do you have a lucky?
Yes, I'm using my lucky. Last one.
Ooh.
Last lucky.
The jade one.
10.
Plus 4, 14.
14. Yeah.
It's more than I had.
We'll see.
I'm sorry, what was your total?
14.
As it begins kind of washing over you, feel it kind of pooling in the crevices on your body. Another writhe begins to kind of, this one with much more intent of removing you from its body. But as it does, you watch as kind of a second, a third, this kind of shadowy visages. And pretty soon it's beginning to be hard to tell. It's almost a sense of being inebriated, but where none of those visages are of flesh and blood. They all seem to be these kind of strange shadow figures. And you will be making that save at the end of each of your turns. But until you do save, you have disadvantage on all attacks against the slithering nightmare.
All of us do?
Just her. Oh, I'm sorry. You were 14?
Yeah.
Oh,
Way to wait the lucky
16.
Josh.
damn close though. Damn close. This
Well-
is DC 15. So
Ah. Can't you change it, DM?
you know
Did
what?
Change it.
What the heck?
Yeah,
You save. You save. She's cleansed.
We're all.
Wow, this game's awesome.
This is sweet. But as that kind of darkness, a flush washing over Kel, you kind of in your own vision, the blur of multiple Sirimals writhing around in the chamber. You're through your own lens, kind of each of those duplications being cast out by the silver light that is raining down. And in that moment, this space truly is the brilliant amphitheater that it was intended to be, kind of the glow of silvers and golds and platinums as you watch your kind of looking on at what is sure to be just a brutal engagement, but one that you, for the time being, are seeing truly. And it is in that moment that a tail kind of raising up and slamming down directly in your direction.
Okay.
Is going to be a hit. For 8 bludgeoning damage, slamming down, and there's a moment in which your mind can't separate the tentacle of the creature from the outside from the tail, albeit brief. You can kind of feel that moment of panic wanting to take you as you steel yourself against it. the head lashing out at Aster, and kind of given the amount of space between this creature that's raised up and the time it takes for that head to make that journey, hit and return, is black lightning, as kind of she simply is there and then she is not. That bite coming AC against her, 18?
18.
It's going to be a hit.
Real quick, before you start reading me more stuff, I just want to... Come on, Josh. You had this ready. Imagine, yep. Yeah, it sees on an attack roll. I'm going to use silvery barbs.
Out of curiosity, am I oh no, I didn't do tunnel finder. I'm not able to react, am I? With you and I are within 10. If he makes an attack,
that's a good, but I don't know if that's just a reach weapon. I don't know how.
Yeah, if its head gets close to Aster, can I make an attack?
The speed is beyond you. No. Sorry.
Okay.
Now, if her broader form is, then yes, but
when
it's literally her reach is like 60, 70, 80. I mean, it's hard to tell how far she could hit that way.
Yeah.
But given your expanse here, it seems almost anywhere in this relatively small chamber, given the rest of the pyramid.
Right. I'll use silvery barbs.
Okay.
So that disadvantage.
You son of a... So many times with this
That's
guy,
so
I've got to
gnarly.
roll
Like
It is.
Where did
So
this
many
come
times.
from?
It's a level 1 spell too.
I know.
It will still be a hit though.
Fuck.
It was a good effort.
I did roll damage already, so I'm going to keep the damage
Yeah.
roll, which is in your favor, in fact, because it is going to be a 7 piercing damage.
Okay.
And immediately you watch as she draws back, kind of looking down. You can see 2 heavy punctures in your shoulder, and this blue pearlescent liquid dripping from them. That's going to be for an additional 4 psychic damage as you feel kind of you are so 2 psychic damage.
Got it.
Wow. I am now officially bloodied.
Okay.
But I can grant advantage to someone's attack in the next, or with silvery barbs.
Is it an attack roll specifically?
No, I'm gonna double check on that.
I think it is.
The chosen creature has advantage on the next attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, and I'm granting that to you.
In your range.
60 feet?
No. I don't think so.
I'm waiting for it. How far away is
No, she was about 80 feet laterally, and now that Siramal has raised up, she's probably another 30 feet vertically. So she is up there now.
Okay.
You can see now the chamber beginning to swirl with this black essence as the last of Siramal's actions.
I'll grab myself advantage then. I'll grant it. I don't care.
Actually, no. She's going to wait on that.
Cool.
he. It's hard to say
We're all
if this is
confused. We're all
Siramal
confused.
or if this is
Hey,
Sirkar
that sounds
that you're,
familiar.
you're dealing with.
I know about
But with that, she's actually going to. The lithe viper-esque movements of her body kind of serpentining their way in. She imposes herself into the group, and in this moment, you will find your opportunity if you want to
Get her.
Get it.
No, 17.
17 minutes.
Yeah.
Lashing out. In fact, you hit dead on, and you feel kind of the spear rejected by the heavy plated scale as it juts upward. As she gets there, you can see kind of shaking and shuddering, and that blue pearlescence now where it was exclusively black. This kind of this powder of blue pearlescence spewing out. Everyone within 20, which will be everyone at this point.
God damn it.
I need a con save.
Very well. Well, not
I get
that
advantage.
way. You do get advantage.
Silvery
yeah.
barbs.
Fuck.
13 plus 2 is 15 plus
I'd
4 is
fail.
19.
8.
She get plus 6.
So 13.
I'm not having so much fun, guys.
You're still riding her neck, aren't
I
you?
know. I'm trying
This
to hang on.
damage, man.
Okay, keep it going. We like it.
For 9 psychic damage
To everybody?
for anyone who failed, which is going to be the 2 of you.
Okay.
And 10 necrotic damage
Ouch.
Damn.
as the plume washes over her, or over you, this kind of blue pearlescence. Now you can see kind of clinging onto the surfaces, this kind of emitted as a powder almost, but caking the walls and floor around you guys. And that will be the end of her turn. But she is engaged with everyone at this point.
How far away? Okay, so I'll ask him when it's my turn.
I think it is.
Hey, how far away is
Cat.
Cat
Yeah.
from me?
She's probably about 45 feet, almost straight up. She's probably about 10 feet laterally and then another 45 feet up. So about 55 feet up.
Oh.
So hang on, say it again. 45 feet laterally?
10 feet laterally. I mean, look, Ciramol is right on top of you guys. now.
Right.
So she just moved in.
She moved up to engage with all of you so she could
Mm-hmm.
dust
Right,
you
right.
guys with this. But she has raised herself up. So she's kind of standing in this more proud posture. And with that, she was already 15 feet off the ground. She's come up about another 30 feet. So Katarina is about 45 feet, kind of clinging
Okay,
to the
cool.
scale.
Right.
So all things considered, if you were going to factor it out, probably about 50 feet.
50 feet.
As the crow flies.
We won't last long. I think we should stick with the stone. It might still cleanse her. Here's some help. And I'll snap and Ollie will appear.
Yay!
Materializing out of the pocket plane and kind of in kind of like a kind of
For
that
Ollie.
couple of feet slam down, kind of in between one of the S coils of this body, taking it all in for a moment, and just this oh fuck moment. Glancing up, you can see kind of his resolve tighten. And what is the play? From behind you, another slam on the door that you barred.
Jesus Christ. Of Ollie, I'll communicate telepathically. Ollie, Kat has really asked her. She is your master. You must help her. Fly and give her any aid you can.
You see kind of a look of perplexion, a look of confusion, and you're sending Ollie. What Ollie's fly speed is? What?
60. So
What? And so what's the actual command? What?
provide the help action for because it's a medium. So anyway, she, get underneath her and help lift her and give her footholds and so she can
Okay.
help climb.
So Ollie is going to help her scale.
that's what I'm thinking.
Ciramol. Cool.
Yep. And then is there any cover in this area?
There are the 4 pillars that hold up the mezzanine, and in fact, tucking further under the mezzanine
Uh-huh.
is something. I mean, you again, given the way she moves and commands
Right.
this space, it's hard to say what. But in terms of true cover,
Yeah.
you could put yourself back to a pillar if that was your inclination.
How
That's the
far-
only true cover.
Yeah. How far
That's it.
away is that?
Probably about. Well, from the entryway,
Yeah.
it's about half. Well, not quite half that distance. We'll call it 25 to 30 feet
I have that,
to
I
the
have
row
that.
of pillars.
If I can get behind, I have a speed of 30. Can I get behind one of them?
Yeah, you
Okay.
probably could be on the closest one.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Charging
cover.
forward, kind of ducking behind. You watch this kind of Ollie pushing off, scraping along the scale to kind of get out of the S curve, the serpentine pattern that her body has laid. As kind of you feel the buffet of air as he takes skyward up towards Katarina, who's desperately clinging to the side of this thing.
Okay.
Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Jumping from there, we jump over to Katarina as kind of feeling that the shake, and now no longer just erratic movements, a concerted effort to get you the fuck off. there's a moment where you do feel kind of this slip. You feel kind of all the strength hanging in your fingers. And there's a moment in which you simply lose that fight, kind of the slip down, and suddenly you feel your feet land on something heavy as kind of jutting you up, looking down, you can see the wormling head of Ollie kind of boosting you up, kind of heavy buffets along your side as he kind of leans in, kind of running his head kind of up along your shoulder and kind of pushing it ultimately kind of up into yours in kind of a affectionate gesture, wings beating heavily, and you can see now that Sirmal has kind of taken notice, her eyes narrowing at this draconic reptilian entity who is not acting in accordance with her will in this space.
Kat will look down and be, hey, a little bit, as she says like a familiar pet name between them. And
you hear a kind of amidst all the other chaos, this kind of low purr, and amidst the strain of wings beating, doing everything he can to kind of remain in proximity, this writhing serpentine mass.
Okay, I'm gonna give it my all here. I am how many feet do I have yet to go?
You got 15 more feet to clear.
15 feet to go.
Got this.
We got this.
I'm giving it my
So
all.
got this.
We'll
We have like
two-
6 movements.
No, I have 2 movements, 2 actions.
Which could be sacrificed for movements. And then
So
an
4
interaction.
movements, but you got
But
this.
I imagine an interaction too.
Yeah, but that's not it. Yeah,
Okay.
anyway, sorry.
Okay. All right,
I don't know if this is even gonna, it might not even
one
do
step
anything.
at a time.
That's the thing.
All right. First movement. Let me.
But we
You're
can't
still trying
be
to climb
God.
I am still.
No, we gotta
Again,
get to go.
finding occasionally a boot down on Ollie's shoulder as his wings bat, you can see his legs kind of scraping along her hide, just trying to find some means of pushing you upward. That occasional point of contact, being able to push up and kind of leap. The help action pays off in that you are not experiencing any
No disadvantage.
not experiencing disadvantages. You attempt to
That's
continue scaling
huge.
Siramal.
Huge.
That is so
All right.
huge.
Well, she's
All
already
right.
rolled like. Oh,
Hey,
okay.
keep
Come
rolling
on,
those crits
come
though.
I know, right? I've seen a few crits. Come on now. All right. 19.
19. A heavy push, the beat of wing, scale after scale, kind of these bulbous, almost conical shapes, fitting your fingers up into groove, one after the other. You make 10 more feet up. You can now see the glint of the golden crown. You can also see some of the elongated, heavy scales kind of flaring. Her eyes taking absolute note of your progress upwards as you are now 5 feet from the top, where you'll no longer be climbing. You'll be at least standing or crouching or what have
Whatever the
you.
hell it is.
So I am standing yet now, or not quite yet?
No, you are still absolutely climbing.
Okay.
You got another 5 feet to scale to
All
get
right.
to a place in which you are on your feet, and then it's probably about another 10 feet to the crown itself.
Okay. Come on. Fuck.
What is it?
7.
Pushing as hard as he can with his wings nudging up. In fact, you watch as he kind of rolling his head up, trying to find a footfall, his snout reaching up. You feel your foot kind of skirt the scales as her body kind of reaches over, slamming. You watch Ollie kind of fail out of flight momentarily, winging down. You feel yourself kind of scraping back down another 5 feet as you continue clawing your way up this thing. You are 10 feet from the head, from the crown.
16.
That buffet charging forward, raising you up
I am doing this.
Yes, ma'am.
another
you are.
10 feet, raise you to the top as you kind of hoist yourself up on kind of the shaking and shifting of Siramal's head. Ollie kind of buffeting as best he can. You hoist yourself to kind of the base of the skull of Siramal.
Can I use my last action to book it over and an interaction to get that serpent?
It's an action place.
It's an action.
But you can use your action to get there.
I can use my bonus then to dash to it then.
There you go.
And grab hold of one of the scales as tightly as I can and slam the serpent's eye into the crown.
Your world becomes white. No direction that you can look can absolve you of the pure blinding radiance as you suddenly kind of feel that clutch to scale fail, and gravity is everywhere and you are nowhere all at once as you feel kind of the sense of falling, a sudden kind of lift, the buffet of wing as you feel yourself lower down, and as the world dims and dithers, you find yourself in the presence of such unbelievable radiance. The tip of this pyramid reflecting back a feedback cycle that was not intended for mortal eyes to witness.
We're all blind.
This drawn up visage, the scales now an iridescent blue in color. You watch as the blackness, the wisps kind of pulling back, and you can see those eyes kind of draining of darkness down the body, kind of slinking faster and faster, consuming this room until it's perfection. I mean, it could have been built yesterday. It could have been built seconds ago. This room is pristine. She lowers herself.
Things are in order.
You feel a heavy rumble. A portion of the pyramid off to your right kind of collapsing down, and you can see the black sky above head. In fact, you can see one of the hands kind of drawing up portions of this realm, kind of tearing away.
There is not much time. I promised answers.
Another shudder as another portion of the pyramid kind of tearing away and just drifting off. You can see kind of that heavy footfall, snakemen rallying, doing what they can to slow the situation.
Ask but one question, and you will have your truth.
Another rumble as another portion of the ziggurat draws up. I will give you guys a moment to decide what your question.
It's gotta be about what's going up in the stars, right? I mean,
Well,
it's kind
wait,
of a big deal.
Group question or each of us individually?
Just one.
This is one.
Just one
question.
Ooh.
We gotta know.
And again, you're in this kind of odd, even though you're witnessing this crumble around you, there's this kind of odd pulse, this renewed control over the space. You can see as that begins to bleed out, portions of the ziggurat kind of pulling itself back into place, this momentary stasis as chaos erupts around you. So I will give you a moment as a group to decide.
we need to know.
Shit. A cataclysmic shudder sends the DM clattering to the floor. I'm no longer in control of this space. It is Siramal's or it is Sirakar's. You guys have precisely 1 minute to conceptualize your question, or
Lose everything. Okay.
no question will be asked.
Okay, do we want to know what is blacking out the sky?
That's what I feel.
Specifically?
Yeah, we need to know who the bigger players are.
Yeah.
Here.
Okay. That's
So
fine.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
what is causing the stars to black out?
Yeah. What
Or
is
who is causing this?
What or who? Can we say what or who as a single
Is causing
question?
this the stars to black out?
Again, I will allow you to get to a point, formulate exactly what that question is going to be, and ask it. I'm going to give no input in terms of...
Yeah.
Why is the sky blacking out?
I think we want to know who.
Who?
Because if
Who's
we can
pulling
find
the
who it
strings?
is, then we can start tracking their
Yeah, we can start investigating who they are and how to
Yeah.
tackle them.
Okay.
So who is blacking out the skies?
I think so. I think we got to know who the bigger player
Okay,
is here.
that's our question. Who is blocking out the sky?
Her head bowing, turning up slightly in the direction of Katerina.
Esther. The Illithid have been a menace since even before my time. A war rages. Wars require resources, power to fuel conquest. There are players who still do not understand their role in the greater scheme. Worlds will go dark until they do. I thank you for your service, Sapiens. But now I must kill my other brother.
And as she says that, bowing, she kind of dissipates the eye, the only thing left, falling onto the ground as another portion of the pyramid rips up. This moment of stasis kind of calm. You feel a heavy shudder as you watch what puts this creature you have been interacting with to frightening shame, kind of the heavy stone head and body coiling skyward as whatever is burrowing out from beneath the ground, from beneath this ziggurat, is of comparable scope to this figure that has been imposing himself in this space. And you watch feet, yards, miles, more and more of the stony body, and very much statuesque as it coils skyward. You can see kind of roiling out from beneath this pyramid. In fact, the pyramid beginning to deteriorate to the point that the toes of your boots hang upon that edge as you watch as no longer an avatar of Siramal, but Siramal herself driving up from the depths of earth, and the pyramid that is sloughed away, revealing now Sirkar, who is raising this place to the ground. You watch as kind of this heavy serpent dashing out that same viper speed, coiling around that massive leg. And you watch as it kind of works its way up initially into the clouds, its head darting down just long enough to sink its teeth into the thigh of this massive thing. And you hear this kind of as he kind of clutching down, a heavy hand grabbing at the head, tearing it from his thigh, a massive fist kind of crunching in the snout as it pulls itself back into place. You can hear screams, a cacophony of horror as this dreamscape breaks into all-out pantheonic war. Jesus. The two of them battling, the eye remaining there on the ground, and you can hear from the eye a whisper.
There isn't much time.
I gotta go.
Cicero will be waiting.
Does he need the eye?
I'm taking the eye. Why would I not?
Bring him the eye.
You watch as kind of that neck wriggling free from this god, dashing up beyond the clouds where you can't hear. You hear another scream as another bite, another puncture, the two coiling. For a moment, you watch as the figure, this massive entity, dropping to one knee, as the shutter hits. You need an acrobatics check from everybody.
Are we able to see his face at all?
You can see about to his waistline as the knee hits the ground.
Fuck. It's a crit
You-
miss.
Well, no, you've got the +4 from Miora.
That is not an aura thing. This is not a dex check.
Oh,
this is an acrobatics
this
check.
is an acrobatics. Fair.
Thrown from your feet, you hit your back as you feel kind of the stone beginning to slough. This entire side of the pyramid begins to give kind of an avalanche of stone riding back down. Yep,
Can I do something?
you can do whatever you want.
I got a 22. Can I pull out all of our rope, lash it around a pillar or something, and gather? Like, I want to meet them so we can rappel out the side.
Okay. A portion of the mezzanine that held one of those pillars in that side of the pyramid hangs, pulling it out. You said a 22 on your acrobatics? Go ahead and just give me a dex check as you kind of wing it around. Having done a little
plus
work with
5.
whips, this isn't entirely
To Dex.
out of
Well,
your...
Don't I get something for dex saves?
It's not.
It's not a
It's a
save.
save. You're right.
Just
You're
a
right.
check,
You're right.
yeah.
Just a check. 21.
Woo! Whirring it out, kind of chucking it as best you can, the rope arcing around and looping back, catching it with the other hand, tying it off as best you... I mean, literally, you feel yourself falling away into nothingness as you work to tie this off, cinching that knot down, holding on. You feel kind of a tug as you begin kind of swinging into this pendulum.
Kel, Aster!
She cries out as you watch her begin kind of swinging away into this arc. What's Kel doing?
I'd like to reach for the rope and reach for Aster.
Okay. Leaping out off of the platform, with you guys being as close as you were, leaping out if you wanted to grab hold of Aster or the rope. Either are
Can I say
reasonable.
anything else?
Test, sure.
Quickly, the eye! I don't know who was closest. Who was closest?
Probably you, but seconded probably by Aster. So
That was your intent, though,
Was that?
to pick up the eye.
yeah,
Yeah,
well, I
I
had heard
picked
you.
up the
I had
eye.
heard
I
you
picked up the
say
eye.
that you would pick up the eye.
Yep.
Scooping it up, turning back, you watch as kind of the slough, having fallen back, you begin feeling that slide back down the backside of the pyramid. You can see that Katarina has noosed up some kind of rig.
Hell
as she
yeah.
begins swinging, the tail of that rope flailing. Give me a...
Am I able to grab the rope and Aster?
You've been able to grab it. Yeah, you were close enough and
Okay.
unimpeded in that regard. Give me an acrobatics as you've reached.
Hey!
What?
Nothing.
Whoa.
Too late
Nothing.
now.
No, sorry.
+2 is 12. 15.
The whip of the tail as your hands it
Sorry.
dances across your palm, kind of grabbing at air once, twice. You feel yourself slipping, falling away before finally catching the end. Looking up, you can see about 10, 15 feet up your companions holding on as you complete that pendulum, begin kind of rappelling your way down.
I'm okay.
The only intact portion of the ziggurat as you make your way down. Arriving at the bottom, you look around, you can see this world ceases to exist in the brief capacity that you were able to visually consume it. The sheer lack of inclinations of life that still exist in this space tear your consciousness back to the rubble of Fort Hill as you watch snakemen fighting to pull the 2/3 of themselves that still remain out of the craters and the rubble. Off in the distance, where had been pointed out to you before, you can see the snaking flow of the second river, and beyond that, a heavy arch, earlier pointed out to you by Cicero. As you make footfalls down onto the ground, what would you guys like to do?
Book it. I'm sorry, Aster. I'm glad you're safe.
It's
I
all
was yelling-
good.
I was
It's all
yelling
good.
at you.
If I want to change Ollie's shape, is that an hour?
Yes.
Fuck.
Can I want to shout out Cicero and run away from the pyramid?
Yeah, we are
Okay.
headed the
To it.
direction
Yeah.
to meet him.
Okay. Charging
Okay.
off that direction, a legs pounding, some of your movement tearing through jungle underbrush in these curated spaces, breaking out into a small pavilion, all the while the backdrop of this massive figure for a moment, kind of watching the entirety of Siramal kind of ripped off of his form. You watch as kind of splayed out in front of you this line of 30 or 40 feet in diameter of snake serpent form, kind of slamming down a massive crater as she kind of spurs back, coiling up on herself and kind of lurching forward, a strike up into the clouds, lightning crashing down, arcing through these figures, occasional silhouette of combat taking place in the clouds as you guys pump on forward. In a matter of moments, you find yourself at the outer bank of the nearby river, probably about 30 or 40 yards towards the carnage that the gods are unleashing. You can see a narrow land bridge that
I fucking hate land bridges.
that courses its way over the river. You watch again. It's kind of from behind, again a mile or so away, as the heavy coil. For the first time, you watch as Sirkar is kind of brought down. You can see kind of a coil around his wrist, driving that to the ground. The other hooking around his neck. And you see his heavy fangs as he's brought to the ground, sinking kind of just below the orbital, and another hand kind of grabbing and wrenching those back. You can see a spray of pearlescent blue toxin jettison into the atmosphere as the two continue battling. What would you guys like to do as you
move across the land bridge?
you're going to the land bridge?
That's what I feel.
Okay. Charging
Let's stay together, guys.
Charging forward towards the land bridge, you arrive on the other side. There's a moment of uncanny recognition in this place, seeing the land bridge. As you glance across, you can see kind of a narrow slitted opening, two snake heads emerge from across the land bridge. You can see some strange inscriptions lying below them. Each of you charging forward across that space.
Stop rolling dice.
You could see Siramal wriggle free, another bite to the neck as you watch a heavy hand kind of slam down on the opposite side of the land bridge. I need an acrobatics check if you guys clear these fingers that are 10, 15 feet. I'm sorry, I said acrobatics. I meant athletics.
Okay.
12.
10.
It'll be 11 for me.
All of you save by the skin of your fucking teeth.
Yeah!
Leaping up and over, you kind of clear the thumb as the hand pushes back off, raising back up, kind of gripping. You watch as the head of Siramal slamming into the side of the mountain, a fist. As you watch kind of what is the opening kind of collapses on itself to a even narrower gap, this kind of cracked chasm, no longer this proper architectured thing, this kind of...
Do we see Cicero anywhere? I mean...
You do not. Charging though across the bridge, kind of wading your way through the heavy divots in the ground from Godfall all around you.
Can we see
great
anything,
word.
like we could see this world through the portal last time. Can we see anything through the portal?
You don't see any portal
Yeah.
as is. You
Oh.
simply see the entrance,
Yeah.
albeit this entrance again is immediately recognizable as you are running into this space. You
You've
have
been here before.
walked this before. Pushing in, you drive yourself forward to what you're fully expecting to be kind of a T-junction as you push in here. However, staring straight ahead, you can see two stone seats sat up. A thin plane of glass sits before them as you guys charge forward. You watch as a somewhat frantic Cicero kind of moves from the chamber to the right into the seats. He kind of stumbles momentarily, the world kind of shifting and shuddering as he kind of reaches out, grasping for a small branch, kind of tapping it along. He turns back, tap, 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 tap. He comes back to the T-junction.
You're late.
Yes, I knew it. He knew he would.
Just as Sirimal, he begins pushing his way off to the other side, claiming a prism that is held between two snakeheads in the room to the right. Just as Sirimal quenched their thirst when the sphere burned brightest, he moves to the other room, the planetarium, setting it down. I too will quench your thirst for knowledge. He grabbing hold of the tiller, for lack of a better term. He begins pushing it.
Strong
through.
ass old man.
I know, right?
He's you know how you do.
He's a beast.
The door kind of slamming shut behind you. He begins spooling into some invocation over one of these pillars, having placed the pyramid on it. It blooms into light. He removes that pillar, taking it back, driving the arm back to its original position as it opens up. You've brought the eye.
I have it.
He reaches
I
out,
have it.
taking it in his hand. You can see that kind of already the cloudiness of his failing vision beginning to take him. He continues tapping along to the room with the stone seats, setting the eye down into the small tray that divides the two. He places himself into one of the seats.
Are we winning?
We are.
You could see that kind of looking nowhere through the cataract lenses. You watch as kind of a smile pulls across his face.
The mirror. The mirror in the other room.
He places the prism down in the small pedestal in front of the two seats.
What?
I will wait here.
What must we do with the Eye of Sirkar?
It will remain here.
He-
Oh, Sirkar, you have the eye.
We did.
Yeah.
He extends
I'll give it to him.
a hand outward.
It has no place here.
We can take it with us. Get it rid of. Yeah.
That is no small trinket you bear.
You can see now his respirations, just from everything that's going on, but you can see they seem to be
We must hurry.
Do you need me to grab the mirror?
ramping up.
Okay,
Yeah.
No.
I'm gonna go get it.
Yeah.
Lowering himself back into the seat, kind of. You can see the respirations kind
Okay,
of.
I bring the mirror in.
You can see the shaft of light is coursing from the planetarium across to the
we need to
opposite
put the
room.
prism in the way we went into
The prism
serpent's-
is currently in front of the two seats.
Yes, I'll take it and put it in the serpent's mouths where we originally, so the beam could cross into it and open the portal.
Okay. As you lift the prism free and begin moving in that direction.
Wait.
Again, speaking to anything and everything, partially unsure if you're still present.
Thank you.
He sits back in the chair, and you watch as kind of a portion of him kind of dithering in place. You can see sunken cheeks kind of drawing in as the two chairs kind of bloom, and his visage kind of standing.
It was our honor.
He-
She'll bow.
Tap, 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 as the visage pushes its way forward. The last of his strength reaching over, he places his hand onto the small tray that's in between. And as you take your step out, that doorway shuts, and you find yourself in the T-junction with the prism.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
Opening the
Yeah.
portal
Put the prism in the
the
mouth.
way we did
Yeah.
before.
Charging forward, placing it into the perch of the two snakeheads. The beam of light, as it touches it, a shimmer, a mirage, as it swirls. You stare into a world identical to your own, albeit cast in kind of blue pearlescent shades. Another shudder. You feel kind of a of something slamming against
Shall
the
we?
mountain.
I'm
Why-
gonna grab your guys'
Yeah.
All together now.
Let's pick a heel 3 times and jump. All
All
I
right,
know, right?
together.
right.
Pushing through the portal.
Yep.
Yep.
A brief moment, and then I step forward, kind of as it closes behind you. You feel kind of a strange headiness, your first footfall, kind of shifting and shuddering. Your head swims and spins. Darkness kind of holding on the edges of vision, encroaching further and further. Sleep takes you.
Like a long rest sleep.
I don't know if we have a choice.
It's important to ask.
Whether it's as your mind finds some semblance of the dream, or while you still hold consciousness.
My thanks, Rovers.
And that, unfortunately, is where we need to end this session. Thank you guys for joining us. We really
Yes,
appreciate you guys being here. Next session, we will be picking back up.
I'm gonna be back in Kel. So
I
excited.
didn't get
Are
you
we
killed.
They think they're going to be back in their own bodies, idiots. So, no, we really do appreciate you guys being here as we wrap up Siramal's Dreamscape. And with that, you guys got anything to say to the people at home?
Thanks for sticking out with
We
us.
did it together.
Together.
It's because of you.
You guys
It was you
power
at
us
home.
through the next.
These guys barely did shit. I basically did a bunch, and you guys at home really pulled it together. Thanks for that.
I did a lot of fun.
No, thank you guys so much for joining us. We hugely appreciate you being here for this and future episodes of the Rakish Rovers. Until next time.
The world is yours.
Hey guys! Thank you guys so much for joining us for this adventure we've been having in the Rakish Rovers. We really do appreciate you guys joining us. Unfortunately, I think this is going to be the end of this this little experiment, but we do really hope that this served as a good representation of what we're doing at the table. And there will still be plenty more coming out on the Modern Myth channel. But like I said, I know you don't need any more jabberjaws from this guy. What do you guys got for all those beautiful people?
We are incredibly grateful to have you on this journey with us and
Yes.
supporting us. So thank you.
Yes, it's been so fun sharing our experiences at the table with you guys, getting a little taste of what we do. Stay tuned for these knuckleheads.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you've enjoyed this content here, if you want to see the behind the scenes behind that guy, I don't know where he is in the grand scheme of
I'm below you.
that guy. Check out DM in the PM. He lifts the veil, as it were. And if you want to hear us have some beers and talk D&D, please check out Split Screen. But really, guys, we can't thank you enough for all the support that you've given us.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining us all of these times. Until the next time, the world
Is yours.